Hi, Thomas. Before we get started, please introduce yourself, share your pronouns if you'd like, and tell our audience a little bit about who you are and about your work.
Yes, I'm Thomas Mangrum. My pronouns are he, him. Um, I work with people with disabilities. Uh, also, is is involved in the gay community and and the seniors community also. So, so I'm in a lot of marches for that. And when it comes to um, um, having a physical disability, I have been on a lot of sit-ins where we come to wheelchair users or what have you. So I have done a lot of that also, making sure the different areas is accessible or whatnot. So I have done a lot of work in the field of being an advocate. So, so I do a lot.
Great, fantastic. Yeah, it sounds like you do. You know, Thomas, your presentation covered a lot of topics, but you focused on how we can be advocates and allies for people of all identities and different identities. Why do you think this is important and such an important topic for service providers to know and really support and implement in the organization?
I think it's important for them to know, but most importantly for them to do it because they can know, but doing it is two different things. So a lot of times, on one of the committees that I'm on, for instance, we get people come to the group that's reporting somebody's behavior, that's living in a group home or what have you, and they do this, and we go like, no, that's a control freak. They're doing that
Mm.
because they look for that person to be perfect, but they're not perfect. So when you have a disability, people look for you to be better than they are. You see, so and not realizing that you are being a human being. Being a human being does not mean you better or less. You're just human. So making sure the organization recognize that, like I said before, not or dramatizing because you had to hold open the door for somebody that had a walker or a wheelchair. When you just hold open a door for somebody that didn't need you to do so. You picked up a pen for somebody that didn't need you to do so. But because you clearly see somebody else that needs you to do it, now it's a big deal because they need you to do it. So recognize that stuff. Check yourself on that. What have you? Because you're going to need help. And like I said before, the disability community is a community that everybody can join. It do not discriminate against anyone, stroke, heart attack, or whatever. And now you're part of the disability community. So you don't want to become a part of the disability community, and then you get mad because somebody don't want to help you, don't want to be there for you, and somebody come to you and go like, when were you there for people that had a disability? Were you was able to run down the street? So you don't want that to be thrown in your face. So recognize what you do for people now, it might be what people are doing for you later.
Yeah. And I love what you say that, recognize, check yourself, and also
Mhm.
realize there's a line between being helpful and being over dramatic or over dramatizing the moment. You
Right.
know, you talk about a lot about the intersecting identities that you have, and you talk about being gay, being a black man, and having disabilities, and
Mhm.
those are all the things. Has there ever been a moment or moments, Thomas, where you know in an organization or work you've done where they've accepted or welcomed only parts of that, where it's like, yeah, come here, but we only want you to be the Black gay man or the Black disabled man, but don't talk about you being gay. So what has that been like for you? And what are the what are those kind of experiences, and what have you done to kind of educate, if you will?
Yeah, I have been to some places where I was speaking, and they only accepted me as a Black man, but not as a Black gay man. And like then when I pointed out there, they see the fact that I am, they try to shut me down, try to stop me from talking, or what have you. Or when I go places and they just want me to speak on disability issues, what have you. So they try to separate my gay side from me being Black, being a man. And that sometimes when you go places, you get people that thinking that men don't get discriminated against. Only women get discriminated against, which is a lie from the pit of hell. Men do get discriminated against, but we're not allowed to talk about that. A lot of times, women can talk about it from the time they get up to the time they go to bed, but men is not really allowed to do so, or some men are scared to do it. But for me, because I fight through my shyness, because I'm so shy. So because I fight through it, I don't care. I tell people how I've been discriminated against as a man. I tell people how I've been discriminated against because I'm a Black man. You see, and knowing when you go down the street, somebody grab their purse because they see that you Black and you're a guy, and they hold on to stuff or what have you, or you go to places to speak, and people get scared because you're speaking, but they wasn't scared what somebody else spoke. But because you're speaking and you're a Black man, they're nervous. They're nervous, or what have you. Yeah. So they do try to separate some things. And then when you have a disability and you're speaking up for yourself, they definitely try to separate the fact that you have a right to speak up for yourself. Because a lot of times they don't want you to speak up for yourself. How dare you speak up for yourself? How dare you have a disability and speak up against things that you don't like, or for things that you know that should be out there to help you and your friends and others? How dare you do so? So they just want you to be there for show. So I get a lot of groups that want me to show up so they can showcase me as being there, but they don't want to acknowledge that I had something to do with it. Like a group that did this recently, they had me as one of the leaders of the group, and then I wound up finding out that later on, they just had me down as a volunteer. But before, I was one of the leaders. And they had me out there, showcase me, my gay fabulousness. But later on, though, because I have a disability, I wound up finding out I basically was just made as a token.
Yeah.
You see, because other people that was a part of it that had a disability, but I was like the only one that I seen that put themselves out there in the public as having a disability, and being out there, everybody seen me.
Yeah.
So they just showcase me.
Yeah.
But when it comes to me actually having an active part, they don't want me to do so.
Yeah. So, Thomas, and that's I'm sure that's, thank you for sharing that. And unfortunately, I'm sure that's happened to a lot of people. And that word token is such a damaging, harmful thing. So what are some things do you think that organizations can do to create a more welcoming culture so that someone can come with their authentic self and not have to separate those parts of their identity? what are some suggestions and things that you can, ask organizations to do to say, embrace all of your fabulousness, like you said?
Mm-hmm. Well, so the things I could think of is this. Because you're always going to have people that are going to discriminate against somebody for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So have people part of the group, they're going to check people when they see that. Going to say, oh, no, that's wrong. Include him, include her. Don't discriminate against her because she's a female. Don't discriminate against him because he's a male. You got to have people that part of the group, they're going to speak up, not just for themselves, but also for you.
Yeah.
So if they're not speaking up and the whole group thinks, oh, this is normal for us to leave him out. This is normal for us to leave him out. Nothing ever going to change. Nothing ever going to change because it becomes a domino effect. It's just like when I go to the groups and somebody and people that went to college, they coming up with these fancy words and stuff like that. And then when I ask them, break it on down, explain to me what that word means, then other people in the group is look, they want to know. But at first, they was acting like they understood everything the person said until I asked them to explain it. Now they want to know. Everybody's leaning forward. They want to know too. I'm like, Lord. So you got to realize if you don't have people a part of the different agencies, they're not trying to blend in with everybody on that agency. You're going to have a lot of people that's blending in because they're going to be too scared to speak. Right. So you got to have people that are part of the different committees. They're not too scared to speak up.
Exactly.
When they see certain things or hear certain things that shouldn't happen or shouldn't be done.
Yeah.
They have to speak. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole group of people that blending in, like when people come up with these fancy words that nobody knows what the hell they saying, but they sitting in the room acting like they know.
Yeah. And that's, you shared that. Thank you, Thomas, because that's what allyship is, right? That's why being an ally, being an accomplice, being a activator or disruptor, those are all important. Thank you for sharing that. And there are a lot of well-intentioned people who do this work, and they have a lot of disability experience, right? They do the work, but they don't know how to work with people from, the queer community. They have no concept of that. What would you say that you could maybe share that the first thing they could do, or some things they could do to inform and educate themselves about people who are gay, lesbian, and part of the queer community, who are transgender, etc.? What is your advice to people who want to learn more and do better at this?
My advice, first of all, don't hang on the stereotype of gay people. Because, it's a large variety of us. Yeah. So don't hook on the stereotype. Because if you hook on the stereotype, you're going to look for everybody to act the same. Because, for instance, when I came out of the closet, some family members and some friends, they was looking for me to be overly flaming or whatnot. And I'm going that's exhausting to be over the top if that's not a part of who you are. And I was telling people, the only difference between me, you didn't know about me then, but you know about me now. So don't look for me to act like I'm going to fly on a rainbow or be a rocket ship going to the moon. Because they was looking for me to be really over the top when I came out of the closet. So don't hang on stereotypes. We are not the same. So they're not the same. We're not the same either in the gay community. Because there's a large variety of us. So I could be flamey at times, what have you, but that's not who I am all the time. So you knew me before you knew about me being gay. Don't change what you know about me now. You see, So that's what I would tell.
Yeah, yeah, great. It's such a great, or there's that, I have a best friend who's gay. Maybe you know him, or so exactly, or whatever. And that's such great advice, Thomas. I think again, we always say that the intentions are one thing, but the impact of your actions are a little different. And so, people, what would you encourage people who want to do more, like you said, and you shared, but are afraid of making mistakes, right? They want to do this, but they're scared because they don't know how, or they don't know even where to start. So don't make, don't stereotype, but what is something else you can do to help support and maybe alleviate the fears of some people who are just, they don't know how to be in this space, and they don't want to offend or cause harm.
Realize there's been people all through history that have walked out and spoke their truth. That's the reason why we have the freedom that we have.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, he did. Other people in the gay community spoke out. That's the reason why we have gay marriage or what have you. So try not to be afraid to do these things and always get advice from people that they're able to talk about not just the success that they made, but also the mistakes that they made.
Yeah.
Because if you just talking to people that patting themselves on the back, talking about I was a winner, winner, winner. Nobody's a winner in everything in life. Sometimes you're gonna lose, sometimes you're gonna win. So you want to talk and learn how to encourage yourself to be out there and not be afraid. Talk to people that could be real with you and could tell you about some of the failures that they have made,
Yeah.
as well as the success that they have done. Because as you try to meet the mark of people that brag about themselves, you're never going to meet that. And then sometimes when they brag about themselves, you're going to want to find out a lot of times when they say these things, they lie. There's
Yeah.
no truth about what they told you, but they brag and they put themselves up on a mountain and they should be in the valley because there's no truth about anything that they said, but you're hanging on to that. So that's not being real. Human beings, we make mistakes. We do stuff that's good. We do stuff that's bad. Whether or not we did it on purpose or whether or not we did it by accident, that's part of the human experience. So, in order for you to learn and become better, you got to learn to accept the fact that you're human and surround yourself around other people who talk to you like they're a human being. Not somebody that's talking to you like like they like they know everything. Nobody knows everything. You see.
Yeah.
So that's how you can help yourself.
Thomas, the one last thing I want to ask you, and this is, you shared so many pieces of information and wisdom today. Is there anything else you would like to share with our listeners today? Any maybe last pieces of advice, or just maybe something that could help inspire, motivate, help people think differently? If you could leave our listeners with, the words of wisdom from Thomas Mangrum Jr.
Um, Always when you get up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you know, in case nobody else say these things, you say them to yourself. I'm beautiful. I'm sexy. I'm fine. Okay? The world is out there waiting for me. And they're waiting for my presence. They're begging for my presence to come out the door. Because you don't know what you're going to face throughout your day. So you might face a beautiful day when it comes to beautiful people, and you might face an ugly day when it comes to ugly people. But try not to let people steal your joy. If you could build joy within yourself before you even leave your home, that can last you all day. And you could go with joy in your heart and come back home with joy in your heart. So encourage yourself Now, encourage yourself. Don't always look for other people to do that for you. Do that for yourself before you leave out that door.
Right on. So, Thomas, how can people connect with you and maybe learn more about your work? You have an email address, or is there a website with some of the work that you've done with other organizations and committees? Where they can find out more about you or connect with you?
Well, you can go to my email,
Okay.
Thomas.Mangrum 39, which age I'm gonna stay forever, at gmail.com. It worked for my grandfather. He was 39 to the day he died. You see? He was like 80 something. He was almost 90 years old. So it worked for him. So I'm gonna be 39 forever.
Excellent. Well, Thomas, thank you for your time. Continue to be beautiful. Continue to be awesome. Continue to be fierce, and continue to be 39.
Right.
All right. Be well.
So you do the same. And thank you.